So, good morning, Black World, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri, where the Black Wealth Movement is here to teach you how to build wealth from scratch. Now, if you got some money, then you may not need the Black Wealth Movement. You can go to Fidelity, T. Rowe Price. You can go to TD Ameritrade. You can go to Merrill Lynch and A.G. Edwards and Edward Jones and all those places, and they can help you build some wealth and just turn your money into gobs and gobs of money, right? However, if you're like most Americans, living check to check, and you don't have any major income or cash flow, then you might need to connect with the Black Wealth Movement. We will teach you how to start your own business, how to use that business to access the tax code, to minimize your taxes, eliminate your debt, so that you can ultimately free up the cash that you need to start investing and building that legacy for your family. All you got to do is text the Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887, and I tell you all about it. Again, text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887, and I'd be glad to tell you all about what the Black Wealth Movement is and what it is not. Do me a huge favor. If you're checking us out on YouTube, then go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already, and make sure you give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you feel about the show. Just be honest, because that's how I get better with your feedback. And you can engage with the show as well, and I can see your comments in real time. So all you got to do is comment in the stream. Let me know where you're from, what part of the country, and also the name of your business and or brand. I love to give free business shout outs. And that's for you. I want you guys to get in the habit. If you're in the business of any kind and you're not constantly promoting yourself, then who is? Right? If you're not constantly promoting yourself, who is? So you got to always be shouting out your own brand. Everywhere I go, I'm always shouting out my brand, man. That's just how it goes, man. So I think you should do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with a little self-promotion, if you will. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, and we are very, very close at 1,950. So we need 50 more subscribers to get to 2,000. So I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, today's show is brought to you by the Financial Health Mentor Bookstore. Guys, this is listener-supported media. If you will, I don't ask for donations to keep this show going, but I do sell quality products like these two books right here. So you can grab these books at books.financialhealthmentor.com. I sell them in bundles with my coaching. So you get both books, a 15-minute coaching call, and a 1-month subscription to Monetize My Life Academy, which is a branding and marketing school that will help you learn how to brand your business and better market using things like autoresponders, social media, video marketing, all sorts of courses, ebooks, webinars, and even live training twice a week with yours truly. I show you how I do my marketing, how I leverage social media, how I leverage YouTube, how I leverage Facebook, and you get that a 1-month trial of that for free when you get this particular book bundle. So go to books.financialhealthmentor.com, and you can grab those books, and I use those profits to keep the show going so I don't have to ask for donations. So we're talking about the power of rapport. Listen, guys, I don't care what business you're in. It doesn't matter if you are in a network marketing or a direct sales company. It doesn't matter if you're a traditional brick and mortar store. It doesn't matter if you sell high ticket items, low ticket items. It doesn't matter if you sell travel. It doesn't matter if you're in financial education. It doesn't matter if you sell insurance. It doesn't matter if you sell health and nutrition products. All businesses are relation businesses. I want you to put that in the chat, because some people, sometimes we lose sight of that. All businesses are relationship businesses. And when you get that, you'll understand where your focus should be. You can't sell anybody a product. You can't recruit a new team member or a new sales associate or a new insurance agent or real estate agent to join your team if you don't understand the power in building relationships. And all relationships begin first with rapport, right? All businesses are relationship businesses. You're not building, you're not selling to anybody, you're not recruiting anybody unless you first understand how to nurture and cultivate relationships. People must first know, like, and trust you before they do business with you. Lexi, I'm glad you're on. I'm glad you're feeling better, Queen. You're not doing any of that unless people are, or unless they know, like, and trust you, right? So you have to understand the power in building relationships. And then you have to understand that all relationships begin with rapport. How do you create rapport, right? Or rapport is the more accurate enunciation of that. So I'm going to give you 10 things, 10 questions that you can ask to build rapport quickly. But first, we're going to talk about form. If you guys are in a network marketing business of some sort, or you're learning, or you're reading books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, or The Art of Dealing with People, and things of that nature, I picked up this book right here. And it's not one that I had to go and buy. I actually had this on my bookshelf already. It's called The Power of Two: Win Big with People in Business and in Life. And it's by Anthony Sire, Scrire. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing that last name right, but I'll tell you why I picked this book up. Over the weekend, I was in Cleveland doing some training with my team up in Cleveland, and we actually were also blessed. Good morning, Bazille. Body by Bazille is in the building. Congratulations on your certification. Like I said, I know your gifts are making room for you. If there's anything I can do to help you build your business or your brand and take it to another level, just let me know. But congratulations on that certification. So I'm in Cleveland and I'm doing some training with my team. And for the last 3 years, I've built my business primarily using social media and internet marketing and things of that nature. But while I was there to train my team, I also had a millionaire networker come in to also train my team, and of course train me, because I'm not there yet. And he said, Cortez, if you want to explode your business, you're going to have to get offline. Now that for me was scary as all get out. He said, if you want to explode your business, Cortez, you've got to get offline. Now, I want you to be clear about something. He didn't say I have to stop marketing online. He says I got to get offline. That means I have to do offline marketing as well as online marketing. And offline marketing scares the bejesus out of me. Why? Because I'm naturally introverted, and before this weekend didn't like to talk to people offline, and it's easier for me to communicate with people doing live stream videos because it's that face-to-face is scary, right? But I said, dude, if a millionaire says that in order for me to get where he is, I have to take my business offline, then I have to focus on and learn some strategies on how to connect with people. And you guys know I tell you all the time, this show is me lecturing to myself out loud, and you guys just get to witness. So this is a 2-part series on the power of rapport, how to build rapport quickly, and also how to leverage that rapport into lasting relationships so that people will know, like, and trust you and want to do business with you. So this is an awesome read, The Power of Two. I've gone through a few pages of it already. And I noticed that I had some highlights in there before, so I must have started reading this before as well. But we're going to talk about form, because when we're talking about building relationships with people, then naturally you have to be open with people. Naturally, you have to be willing to engage with strangers, or in other words, friends you haven't met yet, right? I have to switch the way I think about things in order for me to behave differently in certain situations. So I can no longer see strangers everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, these are all my friends. I just haven't met them yet. You guys understand how you have to play tricks on your own mind sometimes? I never, for the rest of my life, I will never see a stranger. I only see friends that I haven't met yet. Right? So I've got to be open to talking to people offline and learning how to build rapport quickly, because sometimes you only have a couple minutes to talk to people. So build rapport quickly. I'm gonna give you some questions to ask, but I want to go over the form of some things, and this kind of gives you some subjects that you can talk to. As Coach is real, 90% of my real estate business is referral. Relationships are everything. Cleveland is on fire. Yes, I truly believe that, Carolyn. So I'm going to get out of my comfort zone yet again. And it's funny that I'm at this place, and really that's how I always continue to grow. Because every time I get comfortable somewhere, I get challenged to get out of my comfort zone yet again. So that's a nugget that I didn't even intend to drop on you guys this morning. Live outside your comfort zone, right? I want you guys to put that in the chat. Live outside your comfort zone. See, I was just getting right into a groove and a nice niche of just really a rhythm of doing my thing online, and now being challenged to get offline. So every time I get comfortable, then I allow myself to be challenged to get uncomfortable yet again. So here I am again, about to move outside of my comfort zone. So we use the acronym FORM to give you kind of a baseline of some things that you can talk about with a new friend that you haven't met yet. And what you have to understand, if you're going to build a relationship with people, there is one thing that you are trying to discover about this person. There's only one. And when you discover it, then you can build a rapport or a connection with people. Then you can build a rapport or connection with people once you get this one thing identified, right? So we've heard it said that people like to talk about them. So get them talking about them, right? So we use form: family, occupation, recreation, and then message or money. You can talk to someone about their family, and that kind of gives you some intel about what we're doing, or we're trying to uncover something. And I'm gonna let you know what we're trying to uncover is. But when you're talking to people about their family, that's a good way to uncover the one thing that you need to develop a rapport with somebody. You can talk to somebody about their occupation, right? Their job or their business. This can also help you uncover the one thing that you need to create rapport, right? Recreation. What do people like to do for fun? You have to talk about these different topics to uncover the one thing. Then there's also the M stands for money or message. And this is usually your pitch to them, right? How can you solve a problem that they have? But one of the things I realized in doing my study this morning, as I'm starting to get better and learning how to build rapport with people quickly, if you're going to build rapport, the reason you're talking to people, the reason I'm going to give you 10 questions that you can ask to get people to open up, the whole thing that you are after when you're trying to build rapport is what people value. If you want to build a rapport with someone, find out what it is that they value and talk about that. Find out their passions, their dreams, their goals. Find out what it is that they value most, and find some commonality in that, right? So rapport is just exchanging between one another. If you don't have a rapport, you could be talking to somebody, but they're not exchanging back. You don't have a rapport. You guys ever been in that situation where you're probing, you're asking questions that is short, it's blunt, they're not engaging with you, there's no rapport there. However, the reason there's no rapport there, chances are you have not discovered any commonality with the things that that person values. And maybe you don't know what they value. That's why form is in place. That's why I'm going to give you these 10 questions that can help you get a person to open up. But before I did my study last night and this morning, I didn't know that as I'm talking to people, I'm gathering intel. They're telling me about their job. They're telling me about their family. They're telling me about my kids, their kids. But I didn't really know what to look for as they're telling me these things. I'm telling you right now today, if you want to learn how to build rapport with people quickly, find out as quickly as possible what they value. You might need to find 3, 4, or 5 things that they value and just demonstrate that you guys have that in common. You value family, I value family. You value legacy, I value legacy. You value hard work, I value hard work. You guys starting to get it? I didn't get that. I knew I should be asking questions to learn about this person, but the main thing you're trying to learn about that person is what do they value? Because when I'm talking to somebody about my legacy and they have a passion for building their legacy too, that's a commonality and something that I value. I instantly feel connected to that person. It's like, man, you all right with me? You trying to build a legacy too? You all right with me? Cedric Jenkins is a legacy builder. Man, you all right with me? Why? There's a commonality. I'm instantly connected to Cedric because I feel we are in the same place. He's going after building a legacy that's important to him. I'm building a legacy that's important to me. We have that in common, and I instantly feel a rapport or a connection. So as you're talking to people, the whole reason that you're engaging in conversation is not to sell them something. The whole reason you're engaging in conversation is not to recruit them. The whole reason that you're engaging in conversation is to make a connection. How do you make that connection? You have to first uncover what they value. Then you have to demonstrate to them that you value the same thing. And if we have similar values, then there's usually a connection, right? People like people who are like them, or they like people who are like what they want to be like. I know that's a mouthful, right? People like people who are like them, or they like people who are an example of what they'd like to be. You don't believe me? I want you to think about who you like, who you look up to right now, who do you associate with, right? Everybody that you associate with and all the people that you like to be around and be in their presence, those people are very much like you, or they are an example of what you aspire to be like. Is that true? Yes or yes? What's up, Alex? And then on the other hand, think about all the people you don't like. Are they like you, or are they the exact opposite of you? Right? In most cases, those people are they're the exact opposite of you. That's why you don't like them. Or they are like the person you used to be that you've outgrown, or they're like the person that you will never see yourself becoming. So in building rapport for the purpose of building long-term relationships, whether it is just friendships, adding to your network, whether it's adding to your business team, whatever the case is, you are in the business of establishing a rapport with people first and foremost, and that is a two-way exchange. But you don't get a two-way exchange until that person, you and that person have a commonality, right? We can have common stuff on the surface, but really you're trying to find that in-depth commonality. What does that person value that you also value? And that's what you're trying to uncover. So we've got 10 questions that you can ask in a networking situation, and a line in a grocery store. These are things that you can use to start establishing rapport with people quickly to try to uncover what they value. Now, the biggest part of building rapport is the area that we most struggle in the most, that most people struggle in the most. The biggest key to building rapport happens to be most people's weakest area, and that's listening. Because when you're asking these questions, when you're probing, people will not respond to you with the answer, good question, here is exactly what I value and why. Right? Here is exactly what I value and why. Today's this book is The Power of Two. The Power of Two, Anthony Scier or Sciere, S-C-I-R-E, with the little deal on top of the E. So I don't even know what that means, right? But The Power of Two. The problem with building rapport is you will go into a networking situation saying, I need to go and meet 10 new people today. I need to go build rapport with 10 people. And then the minute the conversation starts, you forget the main objective. And that's for you to build a rapport with them. And you start babbling on about you. And when you finish talking all about you, you know what that person thinks? They probably think you're a jerk. Because remember, rapport isn't about an exchange. And if you dominate the conversation with you, where's the exchange? Where's your genuine interest in that person? It's non-existent. It's non-existent. So they're gonna walk away from that conversation like, man, I can't connect with that person. He's an egotistical maniac. Right? So the key element to building rapport quickly is your ability to listen to their responses, because what are you trying to pull out of each response? You're trying to pull out what they value. So we talk about form, family, occupation, recreation, and the message. If we're talking about family, how you answer your questions about the family can tell me what you value about family. You talk about occupation, then with the way that you respond and your answers that you give about your occupation can tell me what you value about your occupation. Recreation. If you're talking to me about, I like to go camping with my family for fun, that circles back to you valuing family. Right? If I talk to you about recreation and everything you talk to me about is, man, I just love hanging out with my honey. We go to movies, we go to dinner, we travel the world. Man, you value that relationship, that marital relationship. right? That intimate relationship that you have with your significant other. I need to know what you value so I can demonstrate to you that we have similar values and we could create an instant rapport. Oh man, you travel the world with your honey, man. There is nothing like that, is it? Man, that is my best friend. Me and my wife do everything together. Now all of a sudden, we have rapport. We have exchanges going back and forth about the love that we have for our significant others. But if you don't know how to listen, you're going to have a tough time building rapport with people. If you don't know how to listen, you're going to have a tough time building rapport with people. So I'm going to give you 10 questions that you can ask. These are kind of conversation starters, especially if you're in a network marketing or a direct sales field and you need to be generating leads daily. You need to know how to break the ice with people and really get them to warm up to you quickly. But again, you're asking questions to get them talking and get them to open up for the purpose of you learning what it is they value. Because you can't move to any type of solution, you can't move to any type of business relationship unless you really understand the values of the other person. That's been a missing component for me doing business is I haven't understood. I want to gather intel about people, but I really didn't understand the type of intel that I'm really trying to gather. I want to know what you value. How important is family to you? How important is money to you? How important is seeing the world to you? Right? Because I can help someone make some money in business. I can help someone build some wealth, but I need to understand why. So when I'm talking to them about the opportunity, I need to understand this person values their relationship with their spouse. I value the relationship I have with my spouse. So now we can connect. Now we have rapport. Now we can build a relationship based on that. And if the relationship takes us down the road to I can pitch them an opportunity to take a look at what we're doing from a business perspective, then that pitch can be centered around the thing that I know they value most. You know what, Rasan? I know that you have a tremendous amount of passion and love and respect for your wife. And I know you want to give her the finer things. I know you want to really be able to buy your time back so that you can spend even more time with your honey. Tell me, have you ever heard of income shifting? No, Cortez, what's that? Man, it's the rules of the wealthy that we never learned in school. But this group of professionals are teaching me how to build long-term sustainable wealth so I can free myself up of a job because most of my income now will come in passively. That way, my wife and I can travel the world like we've always wanted. Can I send you some information on how that whole thing works? So my whole pitch was centered around the thing that I know he values. But if we had never built that rapport, if we had never connected on that level, I'm just pitching and I'm just throwing mud against the wall, hoping something sticks. That's not how you do business. All businesses are relationship business. That means every interaction that I have is personal and specific to what that person values. So 10 questions that you can ask that you can use to break the ice and start connecting. What's up, CC? You can break the ice and start connecting and uncovering what people value. And you have to demonstrate if it's genuine, right? I'm not saying that if this person values their relationship and I'm a single person and I don't really value relationships. I plan to be single. I'm single on purpose. I'm a playboy. I can't be a playboy and say I value loving relationships just because I know that's what their value. No, that means I have to keep talking, keep getting them to open up until they come out with something that they value, that I also value, where it's a genuine connection on what we value. It's a genuine commonality. It's not this false, fake stuff. It can't be fake. It's got to be built on real things. That way, whenever we interact, it's going to be genuine. You're going to, when I get with Rasan, it's going to be genuine that I love my wife, because that's all I'm going to talk about, because I love my wife. I really do. Right. So make sure that as you're probing and asking questions, you might have to uncover 2, 3, maybe 4 things that they value before you can connect and hone in on the one. Hey, that is one of my key values as well. Now we have something in common. Now we can really connect around this one thing. And then maybe as the conversation fleshes out, the relationships continue to build. Maybe there's 4 or 5 other things that he values that I also value. She values that I also value, and we can continue to build on that. That making sense to you guys? So one of the things that you can ask in a networking situation, and a quick type of situation, what do you have on your plate? That's a good question to ask, because people claim they are always busy. People like the people who want to feel important, or people who always feel like they're busy. They want people to know that they got a lot going on. Hey man, what you got on your plate today? What do you have on your plate today? You want to get people talking about themselves so you can understand what their value is. Write this one down. If you want to make a good first impression, let people know you're impressed by them. If you want to make a good first impression, let people know you're impressed by them. We have something that's in us that makes us naturally want to compete with each other all the time. And when somebody says they're doing something great, you want to come back with something greater instead of saying, wow, that's amazing. Tell me more about how you do that. How did you get to that place where you got so good, or where you were able to have such great results at that? Instead of trying to one up them, right? You want to make a good first impression, let people know you're impressed by them. So when you say, what do you got on your plate? And they say, man, I got this, and this. I've got this project that I'm working on. Oh man, that's amazing. It must take a tremendous amount of focus and hard work for you to get that done. Oh yeah, man, I've been a hard worker all of my life. Ding. He values hard work. Right? So I'm listening to those responses to pull out what that person values, right? The number one thing that people like to hear more than anything on this planet is their name. So learn how to call people's name, learn how to remember names. The next book I'm going to read is a memory book on memory, tricks on memorizing people's name quickly, because that's something I got to get better at. But what you can ask people, especially when they have a very unique name, right? Like Lakelia, man, that's a pretty name. Where does that derive from? Now Lakelia probably has to go into a story about where her mom or her dad got that name from. So now she might start talking about how she values family as we go into the origin of her name. That might get her to say where she's from. Oh, my mom's from down south, and my aunt had this name, Lakelia, or my aunt had this name, Lakeisha, and my mom's brother had this name, and we put those two together. And that's how they came up with my name, Lakelia, right? Ask people about their name, the origins of their name, right? Even people have simple names, right? So she said, it's from Hawaii. Man, really? Hawaii? Is that where you're from originally? Have you ever been there? You see how that just opens up 10 more questions for me and gets her talking about her, right? So that's amazing. Ask people about the origin of their name, even if they're very simple names. Luke, as in Luke out of the Bible, Luke. Is that, do you know if that's where it came from in your family's history? No, I was named after my dad. You think they pulled that from the Bible, or no relation at all? Right? If you know that you have common friends with people or common history with people, ask them, how do you know that person? You might be at an event for someone's birthday or anniversary or some celebration for some person. And you can always, if it's somebody's birthday, oh man, how do you know Lakila? I'm at Lakila's birthday party. How do you know Lakila? You guys go way back. I just met her myself, but how do you know her? Right? Oh man, me and Lakila, we grew up together in this neighborhood, in Hawaii, in wherever. Oh, really? So now they're going into their history, and I can start piecing together what they value. If I'm listening, I can start piecing together what they value, because the connection has got to be based on a commonality between things that we both value. Are you from here? Everybody has got an accent. This is key. This is key, y'all. Everybody has got an accent. Everybody. So you can, if you get someone to say 2 words to you, you can act surprised. Man, that's a unique accent that you have. You from here? Where you from? Even if I'm talking to people, other St. Louisans, they don't know that I'm also from St. Louis. They don't know when you hear people talk, what you hear and what they hear in their head as the words are coming out of their mouth is always 2 different things. So a person can't tell me, Terrell can't tell me that I don't think he has an accent. He can't tell me how my ears interpret what his voice sounds like. So everybody has an accent. Oh man, that's a strange dialect, man. You from around here? Yeah, man. Been here, born and raised here. Been here all my life. Man, how's the city treated you since since you've been here all your life? Might even ask him, do you have any aspirations of traveling the world, getting out? Ever thought about moving somewhere else? If you could move somewhere else and money was no object, where would you go? Right? Oh man, no, I'm never moving here, man. My mom's here, my dad's here, my uncle's here, my. Oh, so if he's never moving because mom, dad, uncles, aunts, cousins, fiancés, families from here, what does that say? I'm listening. He values family so much that he never wants to move from here. He values family. I value family. Boom. Now I have a connection. We have a commonality. We have both strong values. We have both strong value family strongly. That makes sense. So I'm always listening for what the person values, because that's where the connection has to be. Right? Man, what's a great lunch spot around here? What's a great dinner spot around here? Man, I'm so sick and tired of chain restaurants, man. What's something good that I can get locally here? Oh man, if you're in St. Louis, you got to hit up Emo's. You're in St. Louis, man, you got to try the toasted ravioli. Oh man, you in St. Louis, you got to try the gooey butter cake. And I got the best little coffee shop. They sell the best gooey butter cake. Author's name is Anthony C. Last name is Scire. I don't know how you would pronounce that. He has a little thing over uh, the E, right? Scire. Keelan, what you know about that emos, child? Yeah, that emos is fire. So you can talk to people about what's good to have around here locally, and that opens up a conversation. They might say, "Now I don't know, I'm not from around here, but my cousins, whenever I come to town, say I should try the fried rice." Oh, you're not from around here? Where are you from originally then? Oh, well, I'm from LA. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Ohio. Man, what's the best local fair in Ohio? Oh man, you got to have a Polish, what do they call it? Um, uh, a Polish boy, right? Which is almost like a po' boy with Polish, but they have sauerkraut and French fries on top of it or something. They was trying to get me to get one when I was in Cleveland, but I didn't get a chance to get one. But what kind of lunchbox? These are quick things that you can talk to somebody and ask somebody and get them to open up about, so you can start pulling out what they value, because that's where you connect with them at. Man, what is there to do after work? Where's the best happy hour? Where's the best whatever after work? What do you guys do for fun after work? Another good question. They might say, "Oh man, we got the best spot. They got the drinks 2 for $5 or whatever." If you're into that kind of stuff, that opens up some dialect and some conversation. You might find that question can tell you whether or not that person values a good time. If that person goes on and they know all the kick it spots, then now they value having a good time. And if that relationships continue to foster, and I get the chance to pitch to them what it is that I do, then I know that they value a good time. And I might invite them to a millionaire mixer. Hey man, you know what? Lisa D, I know you love a good time. I know you love a good, fun environment. Well, guess what? I know people say you can't mix business and pleasure, but I want to invite you to a millionaire mixer where we're going to be having a good time, but also talking about the rules of the wealthy on how you can build your wealth so that you can travel the world and hit some of the best bars and nightclubs all over the world if you got your money right. Can I get you to come be my guest to this millionaire mixer? Right. Lisa D values having a good time. So the best thing for me to invite her to might not be a stuffy hotel meeting. The millionaire mix and mingle. Oh, Lisa is saying, oh yeah, now I get to mix and mingle with some millionaires and have a good time at the same time, and maybe learn how to build some wealth so I can have a good time on a higher scale later. But that was based on a relationship and understanding what Lisa values, right? Have you always been in this industry? Another good question, because what does that say? Have you always been in this industry? That takes them through their history. And the more history someone goes into, the more points and opportunity I have to get them to communicate what they value. Have you always been in this industry? Oh, no, I've been in this industry just 5 years, but before this, I was doing that. Right? Could be another point of reference, could be something that I was also doing, especially if they were an entrepreneur, or before this, I had my own shop. Before that, I had my own this. Oh, so you're a lifelong entrepreneur, huh? Oh yeah. I gotta be my own boss. They value their independence. They value being a boss versus an employee. They value time, freedom, and flexibility. So if I was going to pitch them on what I do, that's the angle that I would come from. You guys starting to get how this comes together. This is life changing for me, understanding what people value, and there comes the connection, and then eventually or ultimately, if I get back in front of them or get them on the phone, we exchange phone numbers, and I want to pitch what I do. I know what they value, so I know what the best angle to come from would be, and that increases my odds of getting them to take a look at what I'm doing. Is this making sense to anybody but me? Right? Look at physical cues, right? Start paying attention to every little thing, right? People don't typically notice details because they're always in a hurry, right? So pick out something that they have on that you can start a conversation with, right? If you're a guy and this is strictly business, if you mention a woman's earrings, for instance, if you're a man, and ladies, tell me if I'm off base here. If you're a man and you mention the uniqueness of a woman's earrings as a conversation starter, man, those are some beautiful earrings. My wife would love those. Where'd you get them? That's an accessory that men rarely ever, if ever, compliment a woman on. Now, remember, people like people who are like them. In this case, if I say I think my wife will love them, now there is a connection being made between, if these are some fly earrings and I'm the lady, I'm thinking these are some fly earrings, then you're saying you think your wife would love them, then automatically, subconsciously, I'm thinking your wife must be fly, because only somebody who's fly would even appreciate these. So there's a connection being made through my wife because she's assuming that my wife is fly if I think my wife would like those earrings that she rocking. Is this making sense? And now we can open a conversation. I did it in the most professional manner ever, because bringing my wife into the conversation off the jump lets them know that this is not that. This isn't me fake like I want to talk business so I can get your phone number and try to hook up with you. No, this is strictly professional, right? So I bring, every time I talk to a woman, I bring my wife in immediately so that they understand that this is strictly business, right? I know I have my wedding band on, but that is 2018. That don't always mean anything. So I bring my wife into the conversation almost immediately when I'm talking to a female who doesn't know me, and I want it to be clearly established that that is a genuine compliment, not a line compliment because I'm hoping to hook up with you later. Does that make sense? And then also the not only the physical cues, things that they're wearing, things that they're doing, but also just your surroundings based on where you are. You might see that person with the new iPhone 12. Hey man, how you like that thing? I've heard some mixed reviews on that. Give me your take. Oh man, it's awesome, man. I've been team iPhone for a long time. Right? You use that phone for business or primarily for personal use? Because if I got it, it'd be for business for me. I'm just trying to determine. What am I really trying to determine? I'm trying to determine if they're an entrepreneur and if they value business. Oh yeah, I use it for business, man. It's great for business and personal. Oh, business, really? What kind of business are you in? You see how that just, and I can continue to get them to open up until I find something that they value that I also value. And then that connection is made. They feel a rapport. They're more likely to exchange information with me so that we can talk at a later date. Hey, man, you got a number, man. I would love to talk to you or see if we can, maybe we can work together. Maybe we have some synergy and alignment. Maybe we can, there's some things that we can partner on. I love to keep up with you. Is that cool? Yeah, give me a number. Here's my number. So you seriously have to understand how to create a rapport with people quickly. These are some questions that you can just kind of ask. Keep these rolling in the back of your head. But if you're in tune with where you are, if you know what the mission is, what is the mission? The mission is to uncover what that person values. That's the mission. You can't go anywhere else until that is accomplished. When that is accomplished, if that is accomplished, then you can determine where you're going beyond that. But the mission is to uncover what this person values. And if what they value line up with what I value, we're going to have a rapport. We're going to have an exchange. Whether or not it goes far enough to exchange contact information, that's to be determined. But the mission is to uncover what that person values. And you want to do that as quickly as possible so that you have something to relate on. Now you can have an exchange. And the more you have that exchange around the things that you guys both value in common, the more they're going to like you. The more likely it is that they will say, yeah, I would like to foster a relationship and see where this goes. But if you have no rapport, you don't know what they value, they don't know what you value, there's no exchange. The conversation is usually one-sided. And that's why, because you don't know what they value and y'all have no values in common. So tomorrow, I'm going to give you the most gangster thing that I heard about building rapport, and you'll never guess what it is. Now, some of y'all might go and do some research after this, and you might discover it in your own research. But tomorrow, we're going to lay down, we'll recap today, but we're going to lay down the most gangster strategy for building rapport that I have ever heard. And it just blew my mind, but makes so much sense. It literally blew my mind, but made so much sense. And guys, keep in mind, if you're going to buy a book, the best way to do it is through your own cashback mall. You can get access to your cashback mall. It's free. All you got to do is go to cashbackmall.financialhealthmentor.com. When you do that, you can set up your cashback mall for free, and then you can buy books from that bookstore, and they give you cash back for every purchase. And what's cool about that bookstore is they sell new and used books. The last time I ordered a set of books from there, I probably got 7 books for like 25 bucks. And I'm talking about Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, The Magic of Thinking Big. I bought 7 best-selling titles for like 25 bucks. So, and I got some cash back too. So cash back mall dot financial health mentor.com. I'm gonna put that in the chat. So that's it for today's show, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. It's always fun to hang out with you guys. I had a wonderful time with some of you guys who are on the team in Cleveland. We just kicked it, man. I can't wait to continue to build this thing all over the country. If you're serious about building wealth and you want to put a flag in your city for the Black Wealth Movement and my econ, let me know. I can teach you how to do it, man. And it's going to put money in your pocket. But more importantly, you're going to bring financial literacy to your community. And all it takes is 3, 4, or 5 of y'all to get wealthy, and y'all come together and y'all start buying up y'all city, man, and y'all start doing some major things. You can gentrify your own community. You don't got to wait for other people to gentrify your community. You can gentrify your own community and then turn around and sell the community back to the people in the community so that they have good places to live, but now they're owners. So now they have an ownership stake in the community, and they'll keep better care of the community when they own it. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So I'm your boy, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. Until I talk to you next time, get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every one of you. Peace out, y'all.